in life, nothing worth having comes easy. I'm very guilty of like taking too long with my appointments.
I'm sure there's one story that influenced you. Do you remember a specific story?
I remember when she looked at herself afterwards, she actually started crying and it touched me so much.
I'm going to ask you now, machine. You're getting a very new machine coming very soon. Tell me about Zerf. Is it really something that's going to delay a facelift?
It's very technique dependent. We'll never do something that I know that is permanent or is not reversible or is even 1% not safe. Overfilling is the worst thing that you can do because when you overfill, you expand and you...
The tissue.
The tissue, exactly. That's my most popular procedure. I have people that fly in from all over the world for that specific one.
Have you ever said no to a patient?
Of course, daily.
Why are you expensive?
We have other doctors in the clinic, we have Nurse Cat as well, and their prices range, they differ. So we have something that fits everyone's budget, and I'm very hard-headed, very I need that. Don't think like, because I'm like a young woman or ethnic woman, you're going to tell me no. I'm like, I refuse.
Hi, Dr. Rasha.
Hello, Nada, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Congratulations first.
Thank you.
On the new baby.
Thank you.
We
so
won't do the
much.
reveal. You're going to do the reveal later.
We're going to do the reveal, but this is going to come as a surprise to everyone as well.
Well, first of all, I'm so happy to be here. Looking at this address and this clinic, I'm just so impressed, and congratulations for this amazing place. When I look back in time, more than 10 years ago, I remember you were in Shepherd's Market, and I used to come to you there. And after that, I would go have a nice lunch at Ferdy.
I know.
Because you were right next door.
I can't believe we've known each other for that long.
Oh my God, me neither.
That's crazy.
And I remember like the first time I came to you actually was after I had my first son. Wow. So it's nice to see that you're having your first son.
Yes.
So let's talk about this clinic and how beautiful it is. When you came up with this idea, I know you didn't want to just have another clinic and just a place that's random or another basic thing. I can see so much beauty here. What did you have in mind?
The inspiration for me in building this flagship clinic was to build something that was of what my patients were worthy of. Because with Shepherd's Market, I feel like it was a very cute location. It was in Mayfair, it was sweet and everything, but I felt like my patients deserved a lot more. And this is my way of giving back and creating that space and experience and environment for everyone to feel comfortable to come, almost like a sanctuary, like a wellness sanctuary. And I wanted them to feel like it's almost like a hotel vibe, not really like clinical.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes when you come to a clinic, you don't really like the mood. So you created such a nice mood.
Thank you.
Okay, as a woman, and like I'm sure you struggled, and there was a lot of things that were very hard and demanding time, a lot of time, hours, long hours. So tell me, how do you cope with such things? To reach this level, how do you handle it?
I feel like nothing in life, nothing worth having comes easy. And that's something that a mindset that I grew up with ever since I lived in Kuwait and going through med school and then going through internship and all of that. So I've always had that in me. And I'm always very supportive of women, like, with their education and trying hard. And but even here working in the NHS and working the hours I did, and then still coming into London and seeing patients. And honestly, I remember there were like years of my life where I would get like minimum like 3-4 hours of sleep. It was ridiculous. But I feel like I had to go through that to appreciate and get to where I got now.
You mentioned Kuwait, and what's nice about you is that your aesthetic also understands the Arab woman very well. Tell me about that.
So I went to med school in Kuwait and I grew up there. And being from that culture and really understanding it, I understand what their idea of beauty is and Middle Eastern beauty. And also being here for so long, I also understand the Western aspect of beauty. So combining both and mixing and matching, I feel gave me the ability to give people the best results. So it's enough of a difference to say that, it's money worth spent because they look good and all that, but it's not too much as well. It's very elegant, very minimal and elegant.
You were always known to be also very good with lips. I remember. Another thing, you work with so many patients, of course, and I'm sure there are many stories that have touched you. What do you think your patients taught you over time?
For me, it's honestly the connection. And I know a lot of people will laugh because they'll say that I'm very guilty of like taking too long with my appointments, but I feel like it's very important for me to really get to know the story behind each patient and what they want to achieve and their journey, and to take people through that. For me, it's not just a transaction. I feel it's about helping that person get to where they want to get. And most of the times, if you dig a bit deeper with the patients, they'll open up to you and they'll tell you, it's because of something I want to get to, or because of this, or something that's affected me. And I feel so privileged and honored that people trust me and open up to me. I end up becoming really close friends with a lot of my patients.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
I'm sure
really
there's one story that influenced you. Do you remember a specific story?
there is one that always comes to mind because I just feel like it moved me the most. I had this Qatari patient who had a massive birthmark on her face, and she's been to so many doctors, and this was back in Shepherd's Market
Okay.
actually. And she's been to many, many doctors, and no one was able to help her. And because of the birthmark, it caused scarring. And I remember I had a new machine at the time, which I spent a lot of money on, and I was like debating whether it was like worth doing or not, that machine. And I remember I was able to treat her with that, and then very carefully cover that up with a few injectables and transform her face. And I remember when she looked at herself afterwards, she actually started crying, and it touched me so much because I thought to myself, you know what? If she's the only person I use that machine on, it just made it all worth it. Like,
Honestly, that's such a beautiful story.
and she's still my patient till today, and her whole family comes here, and she'll always have a very special place in my heart.
How can you build trust in this industry? This industry has a lot of judgment. People always like misjudge. They always like يصدروا أحكام, let's say in Arabic. So tell me, does this sometimes make you feel overwhelmed?
No, you know why? Because genuinely, with all my patients, and I promise you when I tell you this, and you probably know it because a lot of your friends come see me, but I treat everyone like I treat my friends. Like, I actually have a thing where I don't even look at names because I get a lot of like VIPs and royals and stuff, and I'll never know because I just treat everyone exactly the same. And it's about just being myself and building
Yeah,
that trust with
trust and
people.
relationship.
It's the relationship. And that's why I'm not worried about that, because as soon as they might hear a lot of things, but then as soon as they sit in front of me on the table, they just feel at home.
Okay, tell me, I want to ask you, I'm sure like basically that you get patients and they come and they see a picture on the screen or on Instagram and they see Kim Kardashian and they tell you, I want to look like this. Have you ever said no to a patient?
Of course. Daily.
Do you
Habib.
have to put set realistic like standards to people? Because some people come to you, they're like they hear about this machine or what you can do, and they think you can change the world. How do you, first of all, say no, and how do you set realistic expectations?
This is the most dangerous thing, I think, when people come in and they expect certain things and stuff like that. And I think that's the people I take most time with in the consultation, because it's important to set realistic expectations, and it's important to rewind and say, like, why do you want to look like this person? What about her do you like? And maybe we can achieve this, but we can't achieve that. And it's important to be honest, because
Yeah.
if you're going to sell a lie to someone and then not achieve it, it's only going to fall back on you. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather be honest, and I'd rather turn people away, and I do that, or say that you can't have this or you can't have that and this is better, than do something I can't deliver.
I totally understand. And honestly, I think that's a really good thing that you, this is why when you take time with your patients at the clinic, it means that it's actually something that is more personal. You create a personal relationship. Okay, so your name's at the door, Dr. Rasha. And I see also your brand here.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have your name at the door? And second of all, it's a big responsibility as well.
It's a huge
You're
responsibility.
not just in a clinic
Oh.
and you're working for a small practice. This is your practice. Your name is at the door. When there's a problem, it's you that's responsible. How do you handle that?
I take it very seriously, and I feel like I sometimes too much, to an extent where I like to micromanage every detail, like all my like head of marketing, head of ops, head of whatever. No one makes decisions until it goes through me, and that can be extremely tiring and exhausting, because after seeing all the patients at the end of the day and dealing with everything, you have to then deal with the
Operation.
operational support and all of that. But I would rather that and make sure that it's all of a certain standard than anything, gets missed or anything's not done the way I see it properly done.
So clearly, you're a micromanager.
Yes.
Do you delegate?
I know when to delegate and how to delegate, and there are obviously key people in the business whom I've worked with for years and I trust, and they know my style and they know my ways of doing things. But I feel like anyone that joins us that's new to the business and is not aware of how I do things, I like to maybe for the first 6 to 12 months go over
Maybe even more.
maybe even more is the truth. But I just like to make sure that until they get the grip of how I do things.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I'm sure this journey taught you so much about success as a woman. Tell me what do you feel that this journey has taught you? This whole process of being a doctor and getting into a medical field. It's also not an easy job because you keep studying. You're the only field, I think, in the world that never stops studying or learning or trying to evolve because something else is coming on the market. So you're technically, it's just ongoing.
I feel like with my medical background, and exactly as you said, you never stop learning and you keep trying to do more and more exams and more elevate yourself. But it has helped me in a business aspect as well because I have my ears on the ground of what's the next big thing, what are the next new machines, what are the next big products, and I'm not also one to just bring anything because it's made a name or it's a trend. I have to trial it out myself. I do a lot of research on what's good, what works, what doesn't, because anything that I bring into the clinic, it's like I vouch for it, you know?
Yeah, because you
So
tried yourself.
yeah, I tried it myself, so I know it works.
Okay, so basically, let's talk about technologies right now. Like I noticed that you always have the most up-to-date machines. Um, you're getting a very new machine coming very soon. Tell me about Zerf, that is like basically the new thing and all over social media. Is it really something that's gonna, let's say, maybe delay a facelift? Is it something that's gonna really tighten stomach areas that basically would need the tummy tuck? Really, would completely?
So I've seen befores and afters and a lot of case studies where, yes, I could very confidently say yes to answer both your questions. It can help delay a facelift and it helps with the laxity of the skin and it helps improve tightness. I do think that's something that people should be aware of that is very important is when it comes to machines, it's not just one machine and then yeah, let's switch it on and let's do it, and anyone can do it. It's very user dependent. And that's why I spend a lot of time and energy and money training my therapists and training my staff to the most up to date technique with the powers. And I was talking to you about South Korea and
Yeah.
flying out there and learning from the top people there because, like in the US, for instance, North America, their technique of doing it is quite low energy and they repeat it quite a few times. In South Korea, it's deeper, higher energy, and they do it once. So it's very different. Now,
Is it the same machine though?
even with the same machine, yeah.
So it's a different
It's
way
the
of
same
using it.
exactly. So it's very technique dependent. And the same with Softwave. We have our Softwave machine. People flying all over to get Softwave done with us, even though they have it in Saudi, they have it in Dubai, they have it in lots of places. But they say with us, our results are different. And that's why all of these things like training and user dependencies makes such a huge difference.
It's so true because, like, for example, I do BBL and I do Pico Sure, and then you hear a lot of friends that are doing the same. But for example, if the frequency is not right, if the lighting or the technician doing the thing is not, she's not doing a good job, you won't get the same result.
100%.
Yeah, and it's very known that this has become, and sadly, a lot of clinics and people in general, they get a very good machine, but they don't have the technicians to actually use it, which is a problem in my opinion.
Yes, and that's why that's important. One thing to note about Zerf, we're not we will be offering it on its own, but we have our own trademark technique where we're going to do something called Zerf Wave, where we combine Softwave with Zerf.
Why do you want to do that?
So because no one else is doing it, and it gives you the best results because it's a similar technology, but Zerf goes down to the deeper layers and Softwave works on the medial and superficial layers. So that way, with both machines, both devices, you tackle all three layers, and that gives you the most face-like lift technique.
Okay, and Softwave is painful a bit, right?
It's not that bad when you have very strong numbing cream, and that's why I insist all my patients have numbing
Numbing
cream.
cream.
But I would say from my personal experience, it's about a 2 to 3 out of 10.
Okay.
with
But
the
Zerf has no pain.
Zero pain, and
Downtime.
both of them zero downtime.
How do you
Zero downtime.
choose the machines you get? Like, for example, you chose soft wave. Do you
Yes.
do Ulthera?
I didn't like Ulthera.
How come?
I didn't like Ulthera because I felt that the pain was intolerable. Also, the technology is older than Softwave, so Softwave is the newer version, you can
For
say,
you.
of Ulthera. Yeah.
What about, I'm going to ask you now, machines. Like,
Of
let's pick
course.
your brain. We're the doctor.
Sure.
Let's get to know more about what Dr. Rasha thinks. So, do you like BBLs and do you like these kind of treatments or no?
BBL Moxy, you mean broadband light?
Yeah.
I do like it for certain patients, not for everyone. And you have to be out of the sun for a while with BBL, and it doesn't work on all skin tones. There is, for laser and resurfacing, there's something newer, the Ultra Clear, which we bought. It's very big in
Okay.
the US. All our patients absolutely love it.
Ultra
It's
clear.
Ultra Clear. It's the same, you could say, efficacy as CO2 laser, but CO2 laser is for very fair-skinned people. We can't use it, but Ultra Clear has the same
For
efficacy as
pigmented
CO2,
skin.
but you can use it for pigmented skin.
Okay. What about Morpheus? What do you think?
I didn't like it, and I didn't bring it into clinic because, and guys, this is all my personal opinion.
Yeah,
So
you know,
please, no one.
but the whole point as well is
Yeah.
like on the show is like we want people to know what you like and what you prefer. So as like a lot of people are watching us today, maybe they're coming in a month or coming in 2
Yeah,
months. At least
yeah.
they know your opinion.
What I didn't like about Morpheus8, there was some cases and case studies where they caused hyperpigmentation
To many people.
for a skin tone such as ours. And for me, I have a lot of Middle Eastern clients. I can't afford to give even one patient pigmented skin.
Okay, we talked about some of the machines. As you know, in cosmetics, basically, there are two schools, the American school and the European school. Right? Are you pro threads?
No.
Yeah.
I really don't like
So you're so
threads.
pro-American school then, I guess.
Yeah, I really didn't like threads. Like I think when I was in the old clinic, I had PDO threads and I had COG threads, which I was trained in, and I ordered and all of that. And I remember spending thousands and thousands of pounds on them and ordering them. And I would do them. I tried them on myself. I tried them on a couple of patients. 3 weeks, it's like you did nothing. You know what
It's
I
not
mean?
worth it and not worth the money. Apparently it's very
not
expensive
worth
as well.
It's very expensive. I didn't look, the thing about me, I don't feel comfortable charging people or having a treatment in where I know I would never use or I wouldn't get results from. I never want anyone coming back saying, I spent this money, I didn't see results. I can't have that. Yeah.
So I always ask this because I like to hear doctors' opinions. Like, as you know, now in the Middle East, now everybody's into polynucleotides and Sculptra or Jolene, or I don't know what's the third, or Radius. What's your opinion on such injectables?
Sculptra and Radius are calcium based, so you have to be very skilled to inject with them.
This is for Radius.
Correct. You have to be very skilled to inject with them because if you're very heavy handed and you inject too much, you can widen someone's face or you don't get great results. And I find that some patients come to me and they have like little like nodules in their face, which for me, like you can't dissolve that. So I wouldn't have something. I like to sleep at night. That's the thing. I will never do something that I know that is permanent or is not reversible or is even 1% not safe. And I'm not saying they're bad treatments. They can be good in the right hands, but I wouldn't just go anywhere to do them. In terms of polynucleotides, they are nice in certain areas, but not all the face. I think under the eyes is a big waste of money, to be honest. And I tell that to my patients. Like I tried it, 4 sessions under the eyes, as if I did nothing.
Nothing.
No, as if
But where would you use it?
I love it in the neck. I love it mid-face if you have very soft lines. Well, I actually like it in the hair.
In the hair?
Yeah, I do like it in the hair.
Okay. What about Sculptra and Jolene?
Jolene I like. I think it's really nice, but it's a nice add-on to other collagen stimulating devices. It goes hand in hand. Sculptra I would never do because it's also calcium.
Also calcium.
It's also calcium. I would never do. And you hear a lot of like horror stories.
It's so interesting how when you meet each doctor
they have
their own opinion of something. Okay, fillers. You know, the fillers were always the it thing, and then fillers were always people always said that fillers lift And fillers don't lift. Fillers add volume, but they don't really lift.
Correct.
What's your opinion on people, like, I'm sure you get a lot of clients. I've seen many in your clinic when I came here before. They overfill the face, they have a lot of migration. How do you deal with such situations? And how do you instruct them on how to inject for the future? Because I've seen many people coming to many clinics and to fix a bad situation.
I get a lot of that where I fix other mistakes or overfilling. Overfilling is the worst thing that you can do, because when you overfill, you expand and
The tissue.
the tissue, exactly. So the treatment would be to dissolve, obviously, give your skin a bit of a break, and then use an energy-based device such as Soft Wave or Excelus or something that really tightens the skin and helps collagen improvement and helps improve the quality of the skin. And then you can work with contouring using a very specific hyaluronic acid, not a volumizer, but a specific one that gives you contour and put in specific locations to give you that illusion that it's lifted.
Yeah, I love what I did with you last time when I came. It was the eye lift. It's like it's such a
That's
nice
my most
one.
popular procedure. I have people that fly in from all over the world for that specific one. And a lot of people try to mimic the same injecting technique, but it's a very specific point, very specific product and technique, which really
Lifts
opens
the
up the
eye.
eyes. It's beautiful. And it lasts 2 years. And that done in conjunction with the anti-wrinkle injection that I do, the specific concentration, opens up the eyes even more. And that's what makes it special.
What about the jaw?
The jawline, I'm very careful with over injecting the jawline because I feel like you can get a bit carried away and widen it. So what I prefer is using Soft Wave or Zerf in this area to really
In this
tighten.
like whole area of the jaw.
Exactly. And then if you have big masseters, Botoxing there to slim that. And then if you need a little bit of lining, because as we age, we get a bit of laxity. So just to give you the sharpness, like a very soft line of hyaluronic acid. Yeah.
When do you tell a patient it's time for you to get a facelift?
Ooh,
That's a good question, I think.
it is a bit. I
When it's
actually
time
told
to
a
not
patient
come
that
to you.
yesterday.
Ah, really? Yeah.
I'm actually very good friends with Dr. Stephen Levine, who did
Okay.
Kris Jenner's facelift, and we were actually messaging yesterday. He's a lovely guy, and I send a lot of my patients to him because he does very like minimal facelift, and it's
Facelift.
very beautiful, and it goes very well with the treatments I do to try and strengthen and improve the skin. When you do that in
You
conjunction
need
with
to prep
improving,
for
you need to prep.
skin.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
hearing that a lot.
Yeah, so we prep together. We do a pre-op and post-op, and then I send my patients to him, and then they come back. Very nice results.
Explain to a lot of people, why is the prepping so important for a facelift as well?
Because you get the best result, like the skin quality becomes so good and so tight that like even the facelift looks a million times better. You know what I mean? You're spending so much on the facelift and you're doing the surgery once, you might as well improve the skin quality to get the optimal outcome.
Okay, a lot of people come and say, Dr. Rasha is really good, but Dr. Rasha is very expensive. Why are you expensive? Why is this the thing that's said about your clinic?
Okay. So firstly, that's actually one of my favorite questions
Okay.
because I actually really like it when people are open and honest and they come in and they're saying that this is what we hear, because it's a misconception that I would like to clarify. And I think it's important to know that in life in general, you pay for quality, you pay for what you get. And it's the same with these treatments. I always buy the most premium products. I don't have anything in my clinic that's just average or whatever. I try from everything and I only select the best. So people that are coming here already know that everything is filtered out and they're getting the best. Whether it's from injectables, it's from the machines, the staff training, the level of expertise with everything. And it's a very bespoke process. Like I don't come in and it's not like, okay, I want Botox, I want lips, and then yalla, let's just do it. No, we go through a whole consultation plan. It's tailored to you, tailored to what you want to achieve. Maybe someone comes in and they don't know what they need. It's my job to guide them. And I won't just do everything for them. I'm very honest and precise in what they need. And I tell them, this is what you need. These are the prices. And that's if they want to do it with me. We have other doctors in the clinic. We have Nurse Kat as well, and their prices range, so they differ. So we have something that fits everyone's budget, but at the end of the day, they're all getting the best.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so basically, there's a price range for every client coming into this clinic, depending on every procedure they do. When you look at the face,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of patients, as you just said, they come, they want to do lips, they want to do certain things. How do you decide, and how do you look at the face as a whole?
Because I have a background in arts and I had that way before, which you're aware about before I went into med
Yeah.
school. So I use that side of things and I look at the face from scratch and I see and I assess the symmetry. And it's about balancing. And I think that even it's something that some of my patients don't notice in themselves. And I'll tell them, if you just add a little bit here and something very minimal, that will change everything. Or you do a little bit on the lips, you do a bit to lift the nose. We had a few people that came in to see us recently. They're quite well known, and a lot of people are messaging me. Noor Ghandour, she posted
You posted, she
about
posted
it.
about
She
you.
posted, and she came in for exactly that. She had an opinion of like, oh, okay, I want 1, 2, 3, and then I told her, actually, can I just do a bit here, a bit there, and her whole face has transformed just by tiny touches. Like, we didn't even do crazy
Crazy
amounts.
things, yeah.
And everyone's messaging saying like, how does she look like this? What did you do? They thought she did like a ton of, injections, and it wasn't,
And it's also not a one size fits all at the end
It's
of the
not.
day.
And that's the most important thing. It's a very bespoke treatment. And that's why we really take our time. It's very curated. It's like buying a dress either off the shelf or you're getting a couture gown. You can't compare. And that's why you can't put a price on something like this. Yeah.
You talked about skin quality.
Mhm.
So say somebody is not interested in the injectable side or the Botox or all this. How do you maintain skin here in this clinic?
There are different ways to maintain skin. We have our own skincare line, which
Yeah.
has
And pills, I see.
and pills. Yes, these are the famous hair supplements that everyone raves about.
And looking at your hair, it says,
Thank
mashallah,
you. Thank you
yani.
so much.
Yeah.
Because it's something that really sells well and people all ask about, because even if you try 1 month worth of that, you'll feel the thickness and the growth. Like, people buy boxes of this. It's crazy. And then our serum also is extremely popular. It has biomimetic enzymes as well as retinol, encapsulated retinol. So it's all the most premium and advanced technologies out there, and it brightens as well with everything. So when you apply it on the skin, you just feel the radiance. It's also bright. It's like an all-in-one serum.
And so you have the serum and you have the
The
radiance cream.
moisturizer, as well as the SPF. We also have a recovery balm and recovery lip balm post-procedures. So
Okay, so when did this idea come?
actually, it came during COVID, when I feel like the whole world slowed down for a minute, and
So you took time
and
to
we
think
took
of some
time to
idea.
think about it and to curate it, and everything was very bespoke as well. We had 4 different chemists on board that from different parts of different continents of the world to see what's very popular, what works, what doesn't, and there were lots of studies and clinical trials to come up with this. So it took me time to curate what I wanted
And find the formula.
and
Yeah.
find the formula, but I wanted something that people could attain even if they weren't in clinic, and something that could carry the results to an even further next level.
And where do you see this line going in the next few years?
Hopefully everywhere. I mean, now it's international. A lot of people wanted to secure it in other places, but as I said, because I'm a micromanager and I'm quite OCD, I'm very protective over my products because I put a lot of heart into it. So I want to make sure that we get into the right places at the right time. Yeah.
So tell me, what do you think of the next chapter? Yourself, your family, your clinic? What are you determined to protect?
To be honest, I'm just someone, like, a lot of people who don't know me that well, they'll think like, oh, what more could she want? She's already has the biggest, most beautiful clinic in this part of the world and that and whatever. But for me, I never stop wanting. And I think that's my drive and my passion is it's always like, what's next? Whenever I reach something and I tick that off, I'm like, I want more and I want more. I don't know if this baby's gonna slow me down a bit.
I don't think so.
Yeah, see, that's the
I have
thing.
2 boys. Actually, having children gives you more drive in life.
Really?
That's my honest opinion. I feel the more you like before you were just doing all this for yourself, but now you have if
More
you
of
want
a
to give them more, you
reason.
want to give them. I mean, first of all, you want to give them the best life. Second of all, you want them to see a successful mom because you're going to be
The role
the
model.
role model. And a happy mom is always like the vibes of a happy mom come home. And I really think, and if you're going to have a boy or a girl, it's nice to see a mother that really works hard because that's how they learn, in my opinion.
I agree. I totally, that's totally my work ethic, and I want to instill that on my child. And for sure, I think definitely next step is hopefully international,
Yeah,
but
inshallah. I could see you having another clinic somewhere else.
for sure.
Yeah, maybe not the next 2 years, but you're going to be pretty busy.
In the near future, we'll
Yeah.
see.
When people hear your story, what do you hope like stays with them after this conversation?
What I really hope people who watch this know is that hard work does pay off and anything is possible. Like anything you set your mind to, if you work really hard and you put the right plans in place, just go for it.
Did you have a time in your life where you gave up and you felt this is not going to go where I want it to go? It could be financially, it could be emotionally.
To be honest with you, no. I
No.
don't have that because I have a very healthy relationship with failure. And I think that's a very important thing to instill in children, since we were talking about
Yeah.
that. But if you don't succeed at something, I don't see it as a dead end. I
You don't?
don't. No, I learn for what went wrong with that, and then I try to implement. And I'm very hard-headed, by the way. I'm very
So,
عنيدة. I'm very عنيدة. Like, I don't take no for an answer.
me
Like,
never.
I can't take no for an answer. Like, if someone says no to me, that's just another way of saying, like, find another way to make it. Like, with this clinic, they didn't want to give it to me. They wanted to give it to like a Starbucks or an Itsu. I was like, excuse me? Like, I am paying your, I want to pay this rent. Like,
How did you get it in the end?
I think the landlord got fed up from
How
me.
much you called?
It's exactly, he got so fed up. I'm like, he's just like, who's this girl that want? And I don't like being underestimated. Like, don't think like because I'm like a young woman or an ethnic woman, you're going to tell me no. I'm like, I refuse.
He didn't look at you. You know what we know what he saw? He didn't look at you as a long-term business.
Yes.
And this is the sad part as well. Sometimes they look at a woman, a foreigner in a country that's like foreign. You made it in London, which is not an easy in the United Kingdom. So like it's not like you're back home and you know the people there. So this is actually real success and it's actually very hard. And I'm sure you're so proud of yourself.
I'm very proud. Sometimes it's a very pinch me moment when I, walk across the street and I see like Harrods next door and this. Because when I first moved to London, I mean, I didn't even live in London, in central London.
You lived
I lived
outside.
outside. I mean, like, I couldn't afford it. And I lived in, somewhere close to the hospital, but it was never even, I couldn't imagine.
You know, there's such a beauty and growth with women. Like, some people look at you today, they see you dressed up, they see this amazing clinic, but they don't see that the baby steps you took to reach here. They don't know that we've been struggling with rent. Probably is one of all of us. Like our first salary was very low. Like nobody sees these things, and I like that you mentioned these things that you couldn't afford living in London. And look where you are. Look at your address now. Alhamdulillah. This is a
Alhamdulillah.
nice
And I
thing.
think it's very nice. And I mention it on purpose because I don't want people to, and there's also another misconception. People think that, oh, she has rich parents. She was handed this, she was handed. I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, there were times where, I had to make decisions on where to go, what to do. And I moved here. And why I say that is because anyone that's in that position can make it work for them too.
True. It's just willpower.
It's a lot of hard work. Like, a lot of people see the success and they don't want to put in the same grit or the same work, but they don't see it. It's a lot that happens behind the scenes.
It's a lot of discipline. But not everybody has that discipline and that perseverance to continue. Some people give up. Some people listen to that bad voice inside that says you can't do it. So it's a lot of work, inner work as well.
It's a lot of inner work. Yes,
Okay.
that's true.
So are you in a happy place right now? How do you feel?
Alhamdulillah. Well, I mean, it's a lot. I'm going to share something that I wasn't planning on sharing, but like when I started, I remember I moved here when I was 27. So my business, I started doing this when I was 30. So it's like always times like this I reflect on
What
everything and
happened
what
and-
happened and what I wish I could do better. But I'm very grateful, obviously. I'm super grateful, and I'm constantly learning, and I'm looking forward to the next.
Well, I'm so happy I came today, and I'm glad we had this conversation.